Hello, 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 ladies. And that's it. I'm not saying hello to the gentleman today. Nah, I'm just kidding. How's it going, gentlemen? And welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video, we're going to be going over how to build the perfect BMW G20. Give me a second. I don't have my laptop on my lap. Silly me. It was on my chair top. For those who are new here, the how to build videos work like this. We go over all the exterior mods I would do to a car, all the interior mods I would do to a car, and all the performance mods I would do to a car, and get the grand total of how much all of this stuff would cost to build, in my opinion, the perfect street car base of these cars. This is not leading in any one direction. If you plan on going strictly in the drift direction or strictly in the hill climb direction or whatever, this video might not be for you. This is just for a good car that you could drive on the streets, have a bunch of fun, look cool, feel cool, gonna be a little bit fast. That's what that's how the how to build series works. And obviously we go over all of the pricing as well, which, by the way, the pricing is implying that you're going to do the work yourself. So if you do plan to bring it up to a professional to install all the mods for you, no judgment or anything like that, but just expect to pay maybe double or even triple of the total cost of the build, because obviously labor costs are pretty high. Also, huge shout out to Alex Martini. He is the one that did the whole how to build series first. I'm just doing my Mark Roden take on it. He's another YouTuber. Go watch him if you haven't already. But either way, media of the day is The Odyssey. It's a new movie, just came out. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things, and I'm going to see it tonight with my buddy. Hopefully it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now this is a pre-fire media of the day, because again, I don't know. I can't speak on it myself personally, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So maybe think about go watching it. But without further ado, let's go right into it with how to build the perfect BMW G20. Alrighty, guys. Before we get into the exterior mods, which is what we're going to be going over first, we obviously first have to talk about the cost of the car itself. All right, how much does it cost to actually get yourself into a BMW 3 Series G20? By the way, all of these mods apply to all the base model 3 Series besides the M3, unfortunately, since the M3 G80 is just so much different. But when we get to the engine mods and actual like performance horsepower mods, that's when you're going to have to mix and match depending on which trim that you get. For my list and for all the pricing and all the mods that I went for on today's video, I'm going to be going off of the 330i pricing, since I feel like that's the most popular trim. That's the one that people buy the most of. Because they're obviously the most common. And so we're going to go off that. But again, if you have an M340i, or I don't know what the other trims are, to be honest, but if you have one of the other ones, then you got to mix and match there. Nonetheless, like I said, we have to first buy a G20 in order to start modifying our G20. So for the cost of the car, I wrote down $25,000 again for a 330i. Again, if you're expecting to buy an M340i, it's going to be probably like $35,000, a little bit more money, obviously. But for the 330is, you could find one for around $25,000 all day, every day, and it's not that hard to do that. Either way, let's get right into the exterior mods. First off, for the exterior mods would of course be the M Sport front bumper for $360. Again, the M Sport stuff in general, we're going to be talking about a lot of them here in a second. You don't have to buy this, obviously, if you have an M Sport 3 Series. If you have the M Sport 3 Series, all these bumpers and stuff like that comes on the car stock. This is for people who don't have the M Sport 3 Series. You do got to buy these for $360. It's not that bad. Next up would of course be the M Sport rear bumper as well for $550. Again, both of these are like full assembly, so they have all the vents and they have all the grills and stuff like that to go on the bumper. All you have to do is go get it painted and then put it on the car, and it'll look like an M Sport. And then finally, obviously, to fill out the M Sport stuff is the M Sport side skirts for $300. Again, want to make it crystal clear, if you have an M Sport, these three mods are useless. You don't need to buy these, obviously, because you have the M Sport package on it already. But if you don't, I would buy them, because I think the M Sport package makes the car look a whole lot more aggressive and just a whole lot better overall. Next up, though, would be the J-style front lip for $450. Another reason why I recommend buying the M Sport stuff is because all of the mods go with the M Sport stuff. So like this J-style front lip fits the M Sport front bumper, but it does not fit the base model front bumper. Nonetheless, it is a carbon fiber aggressive front lip that makes the car look a whole lot nicer. All right, it looks nice. Next up would be the CS style aluminum hood for $1,000. It makes the car look like, you know, like the M3 CSs and M4 CSs and all that stuff. They have those, like that big vent that goes down. That's what it looks like. It makes it look very, very nice. I've seen it on F30s. I've seen it on G20s. No matter what car it's on, these look really good. Hoods are pretty expensive, so $1,000, you know, it's definitely not that cheap, but I think it's worth it. Next up would be the gloss black front grille for around $130. Now, you could just take your grille off and paint it gloss black if you want to for a whole lot cheaper than this. I don't know. I would just buy a new one. On top of that, they can come with like different designs and stuff like that. So if you don't like the honeycomb, I know a lot of people don't like how the grille looks on the like new 3 Series. So if you don't, you could get this one and it'll make it look different and make it look nicer. So for $130, you can't really beat it, and it makes it look a whole lot more aggressive. I can't stand the chrome front grills. Nonetheless, next up would be the M-style mirror caps for $260. These are literally just mirror caps that make the car look like, you know, the M3 mirror caps. There's no denying the fact that the M-style mirrors are like trendy right now and very popular, but for good reason. They're very good looking mirrors. They nailed the design for the mirrors on the M cars recently. Next up would be the Maxton side skirts for $240. These aren't side skirts, they're side skirt extensions. These, again, they fit the M Sport side skirts and they make the car look just a whole lot more aggressive, and fits, of course, the front lip that we talked about earlier to give it a nice little like ground kit there. It's carbon fiber, it looks good. $240, can't beat it. And obviously, to finish out that grounds kit there with the front lip and the side skirts, next up would be the Future Design rear diffuser for $820. Definitely not cheap, but this is full carbon fiber. It's very big, and on top of that, it has a third brake light, and so it makes the car look like just a whole lot more aggressive from the rear end. And so for $820 for a rear diffuser, I don't think that's that bad. You know what I mean? I don't think that's crazy. All right, I think that would look really good, and again, it would fill out the entire grounds kit there. So I personally like it. And then next up, I'm staying in the back here real quick to go, of course, do the rear duckbill for $120. You could get like a high kick duckbill or whatever one that you end up wanting. There's like 50 of them out there. They all look exactly the same, if I'm being honest, but you get whichever one that you want. It's a duckbill. It's a 3 Series. I don't think I've seen a single modified modern BMW without some sort of like duckbill on the back or lip on the back trunk there, because they just look so good. They just look so natural on these cars. They're perfect, really. And then next up would be, depending on the color you get, I would wrap the roof carbon fiber for around $100. You could get the material, and I would recommend doing this yourself. I know wrapping a car is very hard, and a lot of people would recommend bringing it to a professional, and I agree with that on most cases, but the roof is like the number one thing that you should try to at least wrap yourself, because it's the best place to learn, since it's always flat. It doesn't have that much going on. It's the easiest thing to wrap. So for $100, you could wrap your roof carbon fiber. And if it doesn't work out, you spend another $100, try again. It's only $200. You're still saving yourself money instead of bringing it to a professional at that point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to do this if you have like a black one. But if you have like a white car or red or blue or whatever car you got, I would wrap the roof carbon fiber. And then finally, for the exterior mods would of course be window tints for around $500. Unlike the roof wrap, I would recommend bringing this one to a professional. This is the only mod on this entire list that I would highly recommend bringing to a professional, just because window tints are so much harder than they look when it comes to actually doing them. I have seen countless people say, I'm gonna do my own window tints, bro. I'm gonna save hundreds of dollars. And then they do it, and it starts bubbling and peeling within the first week, literally, and it looks horrible. And then they try it again, and it does the same thing. It's hard, and so I would just bring it to a professional. They know what they're doing. For $500. You can't beat it. It'll be high quality. It'll look nice for a very long time. Which, by the way, that is it for all of the exterior mods, and that gives us a grand total for all of the exterior mods of $4,830. So pretty much $5,000 for all of the exterior mods. But it is worth mentioning that $1,000 of that is going to the hood, and over $1,000 of that is going to the M Sport stuff. So again, if you do have an M Sport, you can save $1,000 on the exterior mods here. And if you, for some reason, don't want the hood, you can save another $1,000. So you can cut this down by $2,000, depending on the car that you got and what you want to do to it. All right, we were talking about the exterior mods for quite a bit, but don't worry, because now we are into the interior mods, and there is plain and simply not a lot of interior mods I would want to do to this car. It's a very modern car. I feel like most times with interior mods, at least for street builds, most of the mods that you do for the interior is just to try and make it feel more modern, really. And so since this car is very modern, you really don't have to do too much. First off would be the forged carbon interior kit for $1,050. This is a full-blown kit for all the plastic interior pieces, or aluminum interior pieces. I don't know what they're made out of, but still, those pieces, to turn them into carbon fiber if you want to. You can mix and match. You could do the entire interior carbon fiber, or you could just do parts of it, that carbon fiber or whatever. I recommend buying the full kit. This is apparently high quality stuff. $1,000. Make it look a little bit more aggressive and sporty on the interior. Next up would be the Genix carbon fiber wheel for $600. Again, just kind of fits the rest, like the sporty vibe of these cars. Putting a carbon fiber wheel on it. This does obviously allow you to keep the airbag, by the way, for anybody wondering about that. You are not going to be slamming your head into a quick release steering wheel. This is not a quick release steering wheel. For $600, this is a really nice looking wheel in my opinion. And again, it would fit with the carbon interior stuff that you're doing as well. Next up would be the center console ambient lighting for $330. Now these cars already have ambient lighting in like the doors and on like the dashboard a little bit there, but they don't have it on the center console, and this adds it to the center console, and it literally just looks OEM. The car should have came with this on, if I'm being honest. It looks really nice. For $330, I would highly recommend doing it. And then next up, this one is sketchy, but the Starry headliner for around $230. Here's the thing with Starry headliners: they look really good, and they obviously are really vibey, and you know they got the stars up in the roof. It's vibey as hell. You want to take a girl on a date, you put the Starry headliners on, woo, zooey mama, bring some condoms. But I don't know if I would recommend doing this to such a new car, because the problem is a lot of times if you do the starry headliners wrong, which is very easy to do, it's much harder to do this than it looks. You got to take your headliner off, obviously, and when you do that, if you do it wrong, you go to put the headliner up back in there and it won't stay. And at that point, if you're ruining your headliner on a brand new car, it's just so sketchy, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't, I don't know. It's scary is all I'm saying. I would personally do it, but you just be really careful, really take your time on this one. And then finally, for the interior mods would of course be just some all-weather floor mats for around $100. All right, they're floor mats, nothing, no crazy like M Sport package floor mats, just some nice all-weathers, keep the car nice and clean on the interior. You can't complain. For $100, it's not bad. Which, by the way, that is it for all the interior mods. Like I said, not that many interior mods I would do, because the cars are already very modern and there's not much I would want to change on the interior. But that gives us a grand total for all of the interior mods of $2,310. Not bad. Not bad. And to be honest, if for some reason you just like the classics and you don't want any carbon fiber on the interior, this will literally be less than like $700, because $1,600 of the $2,310 is the carbon wheel and the carbon fiber interior stuff as well. So if you don't want that, you could save an extra $1,600 on the interior here, and it's a dirt cheap interior mods. But here's what everybody came here for: the performance mods. The performance mods are always the most expensive on these how to build videos, because you obviously don't really want to cheap out on performance mods since they're what's running your car. And when it comes to this generation 3 series, the G20, they're actually sort of known for how good they are at building some power. Whether it is obviously the B58 is like the bread and butter, everyone wants the B58, that's like the golden boy right now for BMW. It's the new N54, except now it's reliable and it can even make more power than it. It's the modern 2JZ, let's be real. But even the B48 is a beast, really, when it comes to building some cheaper power. And so it's kind of what these cars are known for. So this is probably what most people clicked on this video for. So first off, for the performance mods, we're going basic here, baby. VRSF downpipe, $280. People can make fun of BMW boys for being downpipe and tune, downpipe and tune, downpipe and tune, but they do it because it works. Let's be real. Like put your biases to the side. I understand why people don't like the BMW kids. They're kind of annoying sometimes. But put your biases to the side real quick. There's no denying the fact that a VRSF downpipe for $280, I mean, it genuinely is hard to beat it on a modern car to make some dirt cheap power. By the way, again, these are mods. These are pricing for all of the 330i. If you have an M340i, expect to pay maybe a little bit more. Next up, though, is going to be the VRSF charge pipe for $220. Again, this is every time you'll ever go to look at a modified BMW, you're going to be like, what parts you got on that, bro? Oh, it's a VRSF downpipe, VRSF charge pipe. But they're doing it because it works. It makes sense. I mean, those two there, the downpipe and charge pipe, are a combined total of $500. And that's it. Next up would be the ICP intercooler, $350. ICP? What? I don't see P. ICP, it's an intercooler. It's an upgraded intercooler for $350. You can't complain. It's going to add some nice horsepower. Nice horsepower. $350, man. That's like, I feel like that's dirt cheap for an intercooler. Am I wrong? I feel like I'm not wrong. Nonetheless, next up would be the CTS Turbo Cold Air Intake for $300 flat. I don't know why it started going crazier. Before people are like, why would you get rid of a stock intake on a car like this? Because the box keeps all the hot air out. This car actually does come with like this intake does come with a box itself to also keep hot air out. It's just an upgraded intake, really. For $300, you can't really beat it. And now you got yourself a nice little, package here. It's not, I wouldn't say it's full bolt-on. Would you say it's full bolt-ons? I don't know. Full bolt-ons is always so questionable. Like, what do people mean when they mean bolt-ons? But either way, there's a decent amount of horsepower mods added there. Next up, obviously, you got to lower the car. I went with Eibach lowering springs for $300. A lot of people just do lowering springs on these more modern cars instead of coilovers because it keeps the ride quality very, very well, while not slamming it on the ground. Unfortunately, obviously, if you are going to go lowering springs, you obviously do not have the ability to adjust it like you do with adjustable coilovers, obviously. So whatever you get is what you get, and you can't get upset. But yeah, lowering the car obviously makes it feel a little bit more stiff and handle a little bit better in the corners, while also just making it look a little bit more sporty and nicer. Obviously, lowered cars look good. But obviously, if you're going to be doing all that stuff besides the lowering springs, you don't need to tune the car for lowering springs. But if you're going to be doing the cold air intake, the intercooler, the charge pipe, and the downpipe, you're going to want to tune this car. So I wrote down $500 for the tune. Again, tune pricing is all over the place. You could find a dirt cheap tune for around $100 in some dude's backyard, or you could bring it to a really, really professional high-end shop for like $2,000 to get the car tuned. I always just write down $500 for for tunes on these how to build videos, because I feel like that's a pretty reasonable number to say. So yeah, $500, you're going to want to tune this card if you put all those mods on it, and you're going to be making some pretty good power, whether it's the B48 or the B58. Now let's get into the wheel and tire package. And honestly, man, this is a pretty expensive car, and we've already kind of gone a little bit expensive with the parts too. So with the wheels, I went a little expensive too. I went with TE37 SLs in graphite for $4,000 for a set of 4 of them. Pretty crazy. You know, usually I do odd-ons on this video, or like just some rep wheels that cost around like $1,500 to $1,500 for the set of 4 of them. But on this car, I think TEs just look so good. I don't know what it is, but TEs work so well on pretty much any car, to be honest. But on modern BMWs, they've just been looking really, really good. Every time I see a modern BMW and TEs, I love how they look. And in graphite, I think this would just make the car look so nice, and I love TEs. Who doesn't love TEs? TE the world, man. And then obviously, if you're going to be putting some TEs on the car, you're going to also want to put some tires on the car. So for the tires, I just wrote down $1,000 for a set of 4 of them, $250 per tire. That's pretty good. It's going to be some higher quality tires, not going to be some dirt cheap knockoff tires. You can get like Falcon and Zenith for like $1,200, by the way, if you want like some more grippy tires, sporty tires. But these tires, I would just go with like just normal tires, not the sporty grippy ones, because you can't kind of drive it in the winter, when it snows, when it rains. It's going to be a nightmare. So I would just go with some regular tires to wrap up them wheels, which, by the way, that is it now for all of the performance mods. And that gives us a grand total for all of the performance mods of $6,950. So $7,000 pretty much for all of the performance mods there, which, I mean, is not that bad, man. Again, this is why these cars are so famous. This is why these cars are so popular right now. It's because you're paying $7 grand, and let's be real, literally $5,000 of that is the wheel and tire package. So you're really only paying like $2 grand. To have a car that, I mean, at that point, with the cold air intake, the intercooler, the charge pipe, and the downpipe, it's going to be making 500 horsepower, which is just insane, man. Going to all 4 wheels, I mean, in the big 2.6, it's hard to beat that. It really is. And so that's why these cars are so damn popular. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for all of the mods I would do to a BMW 3 Series G20. How much would all of this cost as a grand total? Well, let's recap real quick. The cost of the car I wrote down as $25,000. All the exterior mods came out to $4,830. All of the interior mods came out to $2,310, and all of the performance mods came out to $6,950 for a grand total overall, the perfect BMW 3 Series G20 street build of $39,090 in my humble opinion, which is, I mean, 25 grand of that is the cost of the car itself, obviously, since the car is brand new. And so that's really, I mean, man, that is not bad. That is not bad, man. For like, I get it. I get why people are buying these things, man. I gotta say, there's a chance that I understand it a little bit too well, if you know what I mean. The car is for $39K. I mean, it's a little expensive. Obviously, you know, $40,000 at that point, you almost at like, well, I was gonna say you're almost at G80 M3 territory, but not really. G80 M3s at minimum are gonna be like 65, 70K. So never mind. You're almost at that point though. With 40,000, you're at like F80 M3 territory. So it is a little bit crazy, but it's not the same. You know, you get a stock F80 M3 or a pretty much fully built, ready to go, perfect street car that's really cool looking, feels comfortable on the interior, and this it handles really well and is really fast for 40K. I think and it's more modern. Like, I think it's a good deal. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on how to build the perfect BMW 3 Series G20. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what views I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so very much for watching. Tomorrow's video, we are going to be going over obviously the top 15 best cars for less than $15,000. That's the next part of our 1K to 100K series. And then after that, we will be doing the how to build the Chrysler 300 first gen. Kind of going to be an interesting one in my opinion, because I've talked about them a lot on the cheap car videos, obviously, because they are some cheap, affordable cars that are pretty cool. But I've never really thought about like what I would actually do to build a Chrysler 300, because I never really thought about owning a Chrysler 300. It's just not my kind of car that I would ever own, really. So I never really thought about it, but it's going to be fun to make that video and go over the Chrysler 300. Then after that, I did have a car already lined up, but I can't remember what it was now, which is driving me insane in the membrane. I think it was actually another BMW, I think it was the BMW E36, actually. I think that's what it was. How to build the BMW E36. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember right now. I'm sorry. But either way, yeah, we're going off of recommendations when it comes to these how to build videos. So if anybody has a recommendation on what you guys would like to see me build next, please leave it in the comments below. Please make sure it's at least something a little bit popular though, because obviously I got to think about that since I'm a YouTuber. I got to make sure I get the views and stuff like that. So make sure it's something that's not super unbelievably niche and nobody's going to watch it, obviously. But yeah, let me know what car you'd like to see me build next on the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.